It's 2024, and I think I ran out of stuff we didn't know. Nah, who am I kidding, we've got plenty of stuff this time. From how to wrangle up your own pet Gleeok, weird endgame secrets, and some special interactions you might not know about, let's just jump right into it. In some shrines, there's a battery part that allows an electrical charge to be stored inside. This charge can still send out an electric current when fused and sheathed. And outside of shrines, obscured by the Master Sword, can be used in some interesting ways, such as fishing, land combat, and even a tool for mid-swimming combat. Recently, a strange trick has been found to be able to ascend straight into a sky island. By going into deep water and having a thin surface above your head, the game then reads the bottom of the sky island as the ascend location instead. Unfortunately, most islands are too high for this to be useful, but this is a fun little exploit in specific locations. Next time you're up against a Lynel, you don't need to run away from those fireballs. Instead, fuse a frost emitter to your shield. Easy peasy. And you can also keep one around for Gloom hands if you have Xant's helmet. It comes in handy. It's been found that Gleeoks can sort of be captured and wrangled by putting a collar on them. By launching them away from their home perch to do the fly home animation, then slapping a collar on their neck just as they lift off. This collar breaks their AI, and they start to fly in a circle around their home perch. This can let you bring the Gleeok into some really unconventional places, such as Gerudo Town. Definitely not the nicest Amazon package to drop off. Every hot spring above equals to several lava falls below, underhandedly telling you that the lava is how the hot spring is kept warm. While it's not officially confirmed, some players theorize that Cece is an inspired mashup of several real-life people, one being Junko Koshino, also a famous fashion designer with the exact same haircut as Cece, and Yayoi Kusama, a contemporary artist with an obsession with pumpkins. The combination of the mushroom obsession and the Hateno exclusive partially spotted mushroom-shaped sun pumpkin fit the bill to be the subtle nod towards these two amazing artists. You obviously throw materials into the stove to cook them, but did you know you could put materials into the stove not to cook too? They even get a slight boost in throw distance this way, although any delicate items might kind of backfire. Gloom hands can become your friends with one of the newer glitches in Tears of the Kingdom called like stick culling. By initiating this glitch, then reloading the file, then heading out to any Gloom hands around Hyrule, they simply won't attack, and will instead just roam around aimlessly. You can also make Phantom Ganon your friend too, by waiting until it does its Gloom spreading attack, then killing a nearby Aracuda, then headshotting Phantom Ganon. It'll be completely stun-locked. Time to snap a couple selfies. Just like in Breath of the Wild, shielding with shock attacks with metal shields disarms Link, while wooden shields keep him safe. But just remember that Tears of the Kingdom kept the fuse system in mind with this, meaning that fusing non-conductive materials in front of your metal shield can now act as a buffer against shock attacks, and vice versa. Fire-resistant fuses in front of wooden equipment will keep it from burning. While in the rain, campfires can't be lit, unless you use oil or pine cones, but that takes resources. Here's an easy trick. Use a flame-fused weapon, spin attack right over the wood, and mash A. There's a split second you can sneak in some shut-eye doing this trick. Some useless trivia, Link can of course catch on fire, but normally can't fuel his own fire on him with pine cones or oil. But it is possible to turn Link into an Inferno, by being in burning environments, or with an old trick from Breath of the Wild. Crouch walking constantly through tall grass on fire lets Link stick around as a blazing fireball. You can also have blazing enemies too, making their flames larger, such as Cece, Choo-Choo, Talus, and Peblets, and this also increases the damage they do to you. Springs on shields not only deflect some projectiles and knock away enemies, but they can also stun some heavily damaging attacks when fused on shields, such as a Lynel's physical attack like its Charge Rush. Now, for players who may have picked up Tears of the Kingdom during Christmas and haven't beat the game yet, here's a Sage and Final Battle spoiler heads up. Most know by now that Mineru can equip a multitude of interesting fuses that let her float downward, including the hoverstone, glider, and balloon. But the glider has one additional trick. It can keep gliding on updrafts. This can allow Mineru to stay afloat above ground. And you probably know about this Midair wing trick, but did you know that Mineru can do this too? Attacks in Tears of the Kingdom are usually telegraphed in a straightforward way. Horizontal attacks are usually backflipped, and vertical attacks are usually sidestepped. But there are several attacks that break this rule, and all of them seem to have something similar: the slam or downward attack. The Gibdo's overhead claw, the Construct Captain's plunge attack, and even Ganondorf's Gloom slam attack. All of these can be dodged by both backflipping or sidestepping. Both work. In the final battle area, there are several details you might have missed. If you haven't explored this area, you might not know that there are special cutscenes for going too far out and too high, going too far down, and a special light barrier going too far south of the battle. It's a subtle detail, but when Zelda gets hit by one of the Gloom fireballs that the demon dragon spits, she will squint her eyes in pain and stop glowing for a moment. You can also just shoot these Gloom fireballs if they're in the way too. Most people try and dodge them. It's actually also possible to escape this final battle. By placing hoverstones with dragon parts attached at the location of the final dive, you can create a platform where there was never supposed to be one. Then you can jump attack away to a nearby island. Then by doing the diving minigame and killing Link, you can retry the same dragon battle, but now with the ability to warp away. This can set up for some really weird situations, as Zelda constantly chases after Link no matter where he is in Hyrule, and can even be used as a nice assist in combat. Finally, Zelda and Link are fighting side by side on the ground. What was your favorite thing you picked up on this time? We're always on a never-ending hunt for knowledge, so if you want to keep up with us about Tears of the Kingdom, stick with us here on GameSpot.